Welcome back to Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. Final game of the series today, the Tigers and the Rockies. We check out the Tigers starting lineup, brought to you by Gardner White Furniture. Brandon Inge had a big game last night, a couple of hits. He is back in the lineup today, batting third, though. It's Logan Polanco and Inge at the top, Young, Monroe, and Thames in the middle. And Giratano, Wilson, and Nate Robertson will round out the lineup for the Tigers today. We are ready for baseball as we bring you the final game in the series, and a first pitch strike to Nook Logan starts it off. Some changes in the Tigers lineup today. Nook back in the leadoff slot with Pudge Rodriguez out of the lineup, Carlos Guillen out of the lineup. Byung-Hyun Kim is making the start for the Rockies and quickly 0-2 on Logan. Nook at a solid .316. And he's had a very good trip. 7 for 16 overall on this road trip for the Tigers. That's line foul back into the Rockies dugout. Kim making the start today for the Rockies. It is 54 degrees game time temperature. And we had some rain in the ball game last night. They are predicting perhaps some more rain here this afternoon. It's been very cloudy. Swing and a miss. Down goes Logan, and a quick start for Kim as he strikes out the leadoff man. 1 up, 1 away. And we check out the Sierra Mist pitching report on Kim.
It's not often you talk about a guy having a power fastball that throws from underneath, but that's exactly what Kim has. He'll go from 88 to 91. That slider, different speeds, different arm angles. It breaks a lot till he can really control that pitch. And of course, he's a classic submariner.
Placido Polanco stands in with 1 out.
Well, there was a time about a couple of years ago when Kim was in the National League playing for the Arizona Diamondbacks when he was one of the best relievers in all of baseball.
How long as a hitter does it take for you to get used to this style of pitching, because you don't see too many guys do this anymore?
It's a little easier for the opponents now that he's in the starting rotation, because you get a chance to see him a couple of different times during the course of the game. But when he was relieving, coming in, pitching in the ninth, he was tough to pick up.
Polanco cuts and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Placido.
The one thing the Tigers will have to do is display some patience. They'll have to let Kim get himself in trouble, because his ball moves all over the place. You're not used to seeing a ball come from the angle that it's coming from. So wait him out. Make sure he's throwing strikes before you go up there and start swinging.
Line to right field, slicing away from Moore, who makes a diving catch. Dustin Moore with a sparkling play in right field. That ball was headed to the corner in 2, maybe 3, if it gets by him.
Well, you better catch it if you dive for it down in the corner, because you've got no help down there. The center fielder's not going to get there. And you said it best, Part, if it gets by him, he's at least standing on third base and possibly scoring.
Let's check out the rest of the defense, brought to you by Rico. Todd Helton, the multi-gold glove winner, is down at first base. Garabito at second. Gonzalez and Atkins round out the rest of the infield, with Sullivan, Wilson, and Moore in the outfield. Brandon Inge with 2 outs, nobody on, and a strike called on the inside corner. 0-2, and Kim, getting a little bit of help from his defense, is now looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Inge at .306 has 3 hits in the series. Lifted in the air toward right. A more routine play for Dustin Moore, and 1-2-3 go the Tigers. After 1/2 at Coors Field, still no score from Denver. On our way to the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless ball game here. Final game of the series between the Tigers and the Rockies. Check out the starting lineup, and Nate Robertson will face in this ball game today. Preston Wilson is in there, and he was injured much of last year, off to a good start this season. Garabito, Atkins, and Helton are your top 3. Wilson, Moore, and Gonzalez, and then Sullivan, Ardoin, and Byung-Hyun Kim. That's how the Rockies line them up. And Nate Robertson will get the start here today in the Mile High City. Jeremy Bonderman didn't pitch all that badly yesterday, and he got the victory, and Nate will try and do the same here today. Robertson in search of his 3rd win of the season. And here is the leadoff man, Garabito, who looks at a strike. Garabito batting .333. He's knocked in 1 this year, no home runs. He's down to AAA earlier this year and then recalled in late May, on May 26th, from their AAA team in Colorado Springs. Slice to the gap in right center. It's down. It's trouble. Over to cut it off is Monroe. He's going to try for two. Here comes the throw to second base. Not in time. It's a double for Eddie Garabito. And the leadoff man on. Monroe did a good job of getting to that ball.
When the ball left Garabito's bat, I didn't think there was going to be a play at second base. I thought he'd be standing up there, but Monroe with a great throw. And if this ball's caught, he may have been out. No, he got that bag with that right hand on the inside corner, but very close play.
I'm shocked as well there was a play. I thought that ball might shoot the gap and go to the wall. Here's Garrett Atkins. Bouncing it to the right side. He'll move the runner up. As Young makes the play 3 unassisted. 1 away. To third base goes Garabito.
That's good baseball. Man on second, nobody out. Just move him along.
Now they set the table for their number 3 man, Todd Helton. We talked last night about the youth on this Colorado team, all the injuries they have had, and the rookies that they have started this year. It's a good at bat by young man Atkins, who gives a chance now to Helton to drive in a run. Swings right through a letter high fastball. 0-1. Helton had 1 hit in the ballgame last night. He is a .322 lifetime hitter in interleague play. Robertson missing outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You pointed it out last night that he comes in to the season a better than .300 batting average against left-handers. But this year really struggling is Helton.
Ooh, he had to spin away as Robertson moves him out of there.
It's a good pitch by Nate because what it allows him to do, he can come back inside with another good fastball, or he can go outside with a breaking ball to Helton.
Ground ball hit to the right side. This will get a run in as Polanco scoops it up. Helton gets the RBI. And they manufacture a run after the leadoff double. 1-0 in favor of the Rockies. We'll check out the Tigers defense, brought to you by Chrysler Jeep Superstores. There's Polanco at second base. Has not committed an error since last August. Giratano is up the middle with him. Inge and Young on the corners. Thames, Logan, and Monroe in the outfield, and Wilson and Roberts in the battery today as Pudge Rodriguez takes a rest. So Robertson now will face Wilson with the bases empty. Preston batting .270. Wilson has had 3 hits in the series, 3 for 6. And really, when you look at their lineup, you have Helton, you have Wilson in the middle. Those are their 2 veterans. 2 balls and 1 strike. Run it to 3-1 now on Wilson.
I like the fact that Nate has used all of his pitches here in the very first inning. The slider, the changeup, the 2-seam fastball, and the 4-seamer. A lot of times pitchers come into Coors Field for the first time, and they don't throw their breaking balls.
Wilson gets a walk. 2 out base on balls given up by Nate Robertson.
That's the one thing that Nate needs to stay away from, the base on balls. He had 4 5 days ago in Los Angeles in a game where he pitched 5 innings and had the no decision.
He has had as many as 7 walks in a game, and he came in with more walks than strikeouts this year. Yet despite of all the base on balls that he's given up, a 3.48 ERA coming into play today.
Very respectable.
Here is Dustin Moore. Moore getting an opportunity to start today, and maybe you look at his numbers against lefties, and that's why he's batting .350 against left-handed pitching. He's already made a sparkling play out in right field. Dustin Moore batting .228. He's hit 4 home runs this season. You may remember him from his Minnesota days, the first organization that he played with in the big leagues for 3 years. Wilson wants time now as we look at Pudge getting the day off today. And Rondell White also Getting the afternoon off after a big game yesterday.
Anytime you can take care of the veteran players by giving them one afternoon off and piggyback that with a scheduled day off the following day, which gives them 2 days, does wonders for their bodies. And Wilson went out and had a little bit of a chat with Robertson and told him not to worry about Preston Wilson over at first base. Don't worry about slide stepping. Just go ahead and use your natural motion and make sure you throw some strikes.
Swing and a miss. Out in front of the off-speed pitch. 2-2 now on Dustin Moore.
That's one of the reasons why his earned run average is so low. You pointed it out. It's in the low threes. Is the fact that when he gets himself in a situation where the hitter's looking for a fastball, he has a lot of confidence in his breaking ball and his changeup. And even though that ball was down in the dirt, Moore was looking dead red fastball, and he was going to swing no matter what.
And again, Wilson draws a throw. Preston down there at first base has swiped 3 this year.
He stole 1 last night.
Rockies get a run on the leadoff double, and 2 ground balls later they get a run. And right down the middle it comes, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate. 1 run in for the Rockies. Will go. Aflac, ask about it at work. And by Gardner White Furniture, we're known by the money you keep. Back at Coors Field as we go to the top of the second. The Rockies have a 1-0 lead, and Dimitri Young is drilled right in the leg. And he is feeling that one right now. Leadoff man is on.
Now, that leg has been taking a beating as of late. Is it a breaking ball? No, that's a fastball. Wow, you talk about wildness. I mean, throwing from the third base side of the rubber, throwing from underneath, and throwing a ball back into the left-handed batter's box to hit somebody in the leg. He missed by 5 feet with his target.
And of course, it missed the protective piece of gear that Dimitri Young had. And got him right on the leg. So the Tigers get the tying run on here for Craig Monroe. It's still hurting right now. Monroe, .255 average. Well, Kim had a fairly routine first inning, although he had a great play turned behind him by Dustin Moore. Got the Tigers 1-2-3. Monroe has had only 1 hit in the series. One ball, 1 strike on Craig. Tigers had 12 hits in the ball game yesterday. They scored 6 runs after they were shut out 2 days ago in the opening game in the set. They can come home with a 500 road trip with a win today. Down the middle it comes. 1-2. Kim is 26 years of age. He is a native of South Korea. Ground ball left side, base hit. In between the third baseman and the shortstop, and the Tigers have 2 aboard. Nobody out. Second hit in the series now for Craig Monroe.
Take a look at Craig Monroe's front foot here. He's not really picking it up like he normally does, and because of that, he's able to have much better balance. I mean, we're used to Craig really picking that front foot up and then trying to time the pitcher, but he told me today, because of Kim's style, he was going to keep it closer to the ground, which he did, and he was rewarded with a base hit there.
And it's the first Tigers hit of the ball game now.
Hitters are always changing what they do in the batter's box.
Marcus Thames cuts and misses.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing, because so many guys just go into the batter's box and just stand in the same spot no matter who the pitcher is. But sometimes you have to be creative enough to put yourself in the best possible situation or position in the batter's box to get a good swing against a guy like Kim.
Here's the 0-1. 0-2. You know, Cal Ripken used to do that all the time. I mean, he would tinker with his stance and where he would stand in the box, constantly changing. And you think of guys that are zeroed in with their swing and they have one stance, one swing. It's simply not true. 0-2 on Thames, who draws a tough assignment today, getting the start. facing the non-conventional Byung-Hyun Kim.
Timms does not get many starts. I believe his last start was that Sunday afternoon against the very talented Daniel Cabrera of the Baltimore Orioles, a hard thrower. So it's tough when he gets in there.
He was only throwing 100 that day. Good luck, Marcus. 1-2. And it's strike three called on the inside corner. Timms didn't like it. Well, he painted that inside part of the plate for his second strikeout of the game.
Well, I had a chance to watch Kim for 4 or 5 years when I was out in Arizona, and he was just about as nasty as anybody. I mean, with that fastball from underneath, most guys do not throw 90 miles an hour. Most submariners throw somewhere between 82, 83, very few touch 85. But if he gets to 90 miles an hour from that location, from where he's throwing from, and you combine the breaking ball that he has, there's days when he's tough to hit.
Here's Giarratano. He lines it back up the middle into center. That's a base hit. Dimitri had to hold up. Now he's going to round third and come home. Here comes the throw to the plate. He slides and he's safe. Young got a late break, but he comes around to score. It's a 1-1 ball game.
Now he's limping a little bit too, like where he was hit is hurt. I mean, this ball is hit. I'm not sure if he thinks the ball's on the line or what, but he should know exactly where Preston Wilson is playing. And this ball directly up the middle, but he stops momentarily to see whether the ball is going to be caught. But had he turned around before that and noticed where Preston was, he wouldn't have had to stop. But Sam Well, knowing that runs are tough to get, he's going to send him home anyway.
The relay throw just a little bit tardy, and Giarratano picks up an RBI. Tied up at 1 run apiece. Tigers looking to take the lead now. Here's Vance Wilson.
And Tony G, smart man. He knows that Kim could be a little funky. He was going to swing at the first thing that he saw.
Wilson takes a strike, 0-1.
Now you can run on Kim if you get a guy on base that has some speed. It takes quite a bit of time getting that ball to home plate.
Vance looking to pick up the pace offensively. Swings right through it. No balls and 2 strikes. Monroe down at third base. Giarratano at first. You talked about Kim and the fact that when he was with Arizona, he had some pretty good years as a closer. Some very good years. But I think in the back of his mind, he always wanted to be a starter here in the States.
Yes, he did.
Strike called. Wilson is called out. Strike 3 has a few words for Dan Iassogna.
Well, the one thing that you cannot do is you cannot look for breaking balls against Kim because he will throw the fastball right by you, just as he did to Timms and he has done to Wilson.
So 2 away, and here's Nate Robertson. Nate 0 for 1 with a sacrifice this year at the plate. He slices one the other way, but foul. You know, we've seen Nate take a lot of batting practice, especially with interleague play coming up. And even in games now, he can handle the stick a little bit.
Well, it pays off. If you're a pitcher and you can handle the bat and you know that you're going to get a couple of starts on the road trip, as he knew he was going to get one in Los Angeles and here in Colorado, why not go ahead and try to work on your swing and also work on your bunting?
Tigers have tied it up on the RBI single by Tony Giarratano. The 0-1 from Kim. He is 0 for 6 with a couple of strikeouts. We mentioned the sacrifice bunt.
That was with 2 strikes.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lifted foul back out of play. It's funny because when you look at pitchers, especially American League pitchers, there is a wide variety in talent offensively. There are some guys that are looking to go up there and just get it over with as quickly as possible. And then there's Nate Robertson, who's not afraid to swing the bat. Here's the 1-2 way outside. We've seen Kim be a little bit wild at times early on in this one. The hit batter started this inning, and Young has come around to score. Kim was acquired from the Red Sox in March. They gave up Charles Johnson, the catcher. Giratano gets back. 12 hits last night for the Tigers. 2 more already this afternoon. The 2-2. Again, lifted foul. And if nothing else, Robertson elevating the pitch count a little bit for Kim. I mentioned he was originally signed by the Diamondbacks in '99, and then Arizona shipped him off to Boston. They got Shea Hillenbrand in return in that deal back in 2003. And it's lifted in the air. Shallow right field. Dustin Moore has had a busy day so far. Handles another. Side retired. Not before. The Tigers are able to tie it up. We'll go to the bottom of the second in a 1-1 game. Fox Station. Tigers 1, Rockies 1 as we go to the bottom of the second in the series finale here. The rubber game of the match. And Luis Gonzalez leads it off for Colorado. It'll be Gonzalez, then Sullivan, and then Ardoin in a 1-1 game. Gonzalez, a .267 hitter, mired in a bit of a slump right now for his last 11. Nate started the windup, but Gonzalez was given time. Cloudy, overcast day here in Colorado. And the rain pretty much has followed the Rockies this entire homestand. This is a 13-game homestand that they have winding up. 6 of those games have been interrupted by the rain, including last night.
And not just short rain delays. I mean, the 6 rain delays total almost 6 hours.
We had, what, 44 minutes last night. You see some of the cloud cover in the area. 1 away in the second, courtesy of the strikeout of Gonzalez. Here's Corey Sullivan. They had Sullivan batting in the leadoff slot yesterday, hitting a very fine .323. We often talk about pitchers having the Tommy John surgery. Occasionally, position players will have it. Sullivan, an outfielder, had the Tommy John. He had it last season. 0-2 the count. And a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Robertson has a couple of strikeouts. He's walked 1. And the 1-2. Got him swinging. 2 gone. 3rd strikeout of the game for Nate.
Well, Nate said one of the things that he was going to try to do, and all pitchers talk about doing it, some just don't get it done, but he was going to come into Coors Field with the same type of mentality that he pitches at Comerica Park or anywhere else, even though this is a very, very hitter-friendly ballpark.
I would think it's easy to say that, but maybe a little bit more difficult to actually put that into action here. I think you get a little bit intimidated by the air here, especially during batting practice. You'll see guys, pitching coaches don't want their pitchers out looking at batting practice at all. You know,
I think the 44-minute rain delay in last night's game did wonders for Jeremy Bonderman, because he was not pitching well before the rain delay. But when he came back, he was attacking the strike zone the way that we're used to seeing Jeremy attack the strike zone.
And he sure was a lot better. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Bondo, who picked up the win yesterday in 6 innings of work. That's popped up foul, first base side. This will get back toward the seats.
I'll tell you one thing Alan Trammell has done is he's done a nice job when taking out the pitchers and pinch hitting and different things while playing in these National League ballparks. We get a look at Bonderman's line from last night. He's pushed all the right buttons. And Trammell has said on many occasions that he really does like the National League style of baseball.
Ardoin fouls another one back out of play. Of course, Tram has had some big league experience in his time as a coach with the Padres in San Diego. This is his 3rd year as a manager with the Tigers. But I think you're seeing more and more managers in this league manage the National League style. Even though the personnel is a little bit different, of course, with the DH, that makes it a different game.
Well, when you look around the game of baseball nowadays, when you look at the designated hitter in the American League, I mean, there's just not really a whole lot of guys that are hitting 40 and 50 home runs and driving in more than 100 runs as they did before.
Well, Ardoin on a 2-2 pitch is hit by the pitch. So each team now with a hit batter. That'll bring up the pitcher, Kim. And the two guys that have been plunked are standing at first base right now. DY for the Tigers and Ardoin. Here is the pitcher, Kim. His career number is 162. He's 0 for 5 this year. Slaps into the air toward right. Craig Monroe is under it. That will retire the side. So nothing comes to the 2-out hit batter. We'll go to the third. Top of the order coming up. Inge will bat third. Tied at 1 as we go to the top of the third now at Coors Field. Our Pontiac game reset. Couple of runs already in the first inning. A ground ball by Todd Helton. Scoring a runner from third base. Not very exciting, but it got the job done. That made it 1-0 Rockies. Tigers able to tie it up. Tony G with an RBI single. That knocked home Dimitri Young on a close play at the plate. 1-1 ball game, and that's where we are. Top of the order for the Tigers in the third. It'll be Nook Logan leading it off, then Polanco and Inge. Nook trying to bunt.
Nook couldn't hit him the first time up. He said, let me try to bunt him this time. A little bit too quick, though, trying to run out of the batter's box. When you bunt the baseball, you have to stay there until the ball makes contact with the bat, and then you run, especially with the kind of speed that Logan has.
It would seem to me that left-handed hitters would get a better look at a guy like Kim, who comes from down below, than a right-handed hitter would. 1 ball, 1 strike on Logan. Kim lost his hat. Time called. I don't think I've seen that before. He started the windup, lost his hat, was going to bring it home, but Sonia said time. So they'll start it over. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's line foul, first base side. 1-2 now on Nook.
Well, unorthodox delivery to say the least from Byung-Hyun Kim.
Fought that one off, hit slowly toward third. This is going to be a tough play for Atkins. It's late. It's an infield hit for Nook Logan.
All he could do was laugh. But when you've got that kind of speed, you're going to get rewarded.
That's a good example of what Bruce Fields said a while back. He can run 250.
Atkins should have just ate the ball instead of throwing it.
Well, the leadoff man on. Here's Polanco.
First or second pitch. I would expect Logan to try to steal a base here.
A little bit outside. 1-0 on Placido Polanco. Well, that's 22 infield hits. 1 more than Scott Posednik.
If he could master the art of hitting the ball down on the ground occasionally and utilizing his speed, he's going to have a bright, bright future.
Nook this year has swiped 12. Stole a base last night. And he's back in standing up.
We do know that Polanco can handle the bat, and if Allen's not comfortable allowing Nook to steal a base here, he could put the hit and run on.
Yeah, certainly Polanco is a guy you're not afraid to do that with. He was hitting .316 in the National League with the Philadelphia Phillies, and Placido now has an 11-game hitting streak. That is lined left side, base hit. Logan was on the move, so he'll go to third. Here comes the throw. It's not in time, and it gets by the third baseman Atkins, backed up by the catcher Ardoin, and that'll allow the runner to go to second.
Alan Trammell continues to push all the right buttons playing out on the West Coast. Instead of giving Nook Logan the steal, he puts on the hit and run, and it's nice to have a guy that can really handle the bat like Polanco. You can see Nook look in, which tells us a hit and run's on, and because he looked in, he knew exactly where the ball was, which enabled him to get to third base, and the errant throw allows Polanco to get down to second. So Speed really changes the game.
And a great example is what we just witnessed. It'll be a hit and an error, allowing Polanco to get to second. Great opportunity now for the Tigers. Nobody out, and here's Brandon Inge. Inge flied out back in the first inning, playing in game number 102 consecutively.
Where Brandon can just hit a ground ball to second base here. That would get Logan home and also get Polanco over to third base with less than 2 outs. With your number 4 hitter coming up. Inge looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, he really does.
It just looks like he's not seeing the ball very well from Kim. But there's a lot that do not see the ball well from Kim because, I mean, there are not many guys that throw from where he throws from. You don't see this every day. You can't practice this.
No.
No one on the Tiger staff throws BP like this.
Here's the 0-2. Well, you talk about an uncomfortable swing. 1 away as Kim picks up his 4th strikeout already. We'll check out the Wireless Toys making the call umpiring crew for this one. Dan Iasonia is your man behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Dale Scott, Tim Cheetah, and Ron Kulpa round out the crew today.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just walk DY here. Yep, that's exactly what they're going to do.
This will set up the force at any base, set up a double play.
That's why it's so important for your number 3 hitter, Brandon, to put the ball in play. Not that he wasn't trying to do it, but by this, you take the bat out of one of your hotter hitters' hands.
Well, by walking Dimitri Young, Kim is still going to have to face the Tiger with the most RBIs on the team, and Craig Monroe waiting on deck.
If you're Clint Hurdle, you're not concerned with that. You're trying to get a double play to get yourself out of the inning. But if you're the Tigers, you don't mind him coming up because he has been a good run producer.
There's ball 4, the intentional walk to Dimitri Young, and here comes Monroe. Infield single, a base hit, and a strikeout later. Young is walked intentionally to load the bases. How about an even 300 with a bases loaded career? 3 for 5 this year. So Monroe trying to break this 1-1 tie. 1 ball to no strikes.
If you're Craig, you need to be really picky here. You need to pick out one spot, one zone, look for one pitch, and if you get that pitch, just try to hit the ball into the air, into the outfield.
Anytime you do walk the bases loaded, it does put a little bit of extra pressure on your starting pitcher to throw strikes. See Logan and Polanco and Dimitri Young, your base runners. It was Monroe who singled, setting up a run in the second inning. High towering fly ball hit toward left field. Sullivan going back, racing to the warning track, still going, and makes a sliding catch. Logan will tag and score with ease. That ball just kept running away from Corey Sullivan. A fine play in left field. Monroe gets another RBI.
It must be a lot of wind up in left field because he really struggled with that, and he just kept running and running and running, and I didn't know whether he was going to get to it or not. He ran a long way to get to this ball and had to slide to get it.
Well, there is a little bit of a wind blowing out toward left field, but that thing just kept going. It's a nice play by Sullivan out at left. Give an RBI to Craig Monroe. Team high 38 as Logan scores. And the Tigers break the tie, their first lead of the afternoon. Here's Marcus Thames. Right at the knees, 0-1.
And Craig got something he can handle and did exactly what he needed to do. Just a little fly ball in left field to get yourself a RBI and get your team another run.
Oh, 2 now on Thames, who struck out back in the second inning. Marcus came into the locker room today, saw his name in the starting lineup, and got a little bit excited to hit in this ballpark. but Kim presents a different obstacle.
Yeah, he was excited, but then he had to go watch some video on Kim and like, oh, okay, I see why I'm in there.
Maybe I'll tone it down a bit.
And then he'd go over there and have some fun with Rondell White. Oh, you didn't want to play today, did you? That's how they do it down in the clubhouse.
Well, if you're Marcus, you'll take your starts anywhere you can get them against anyone. Here's the 1-2. It's lifted foul back out of play. That pitch was at the knees, and Thames protecting the outside part of the plate. .50 pitches now.
He's been pretty good though with his balls to strikes ratio. Kim is a guy that can get wild and will get wild if you allow him to.
He checked it. They want the appeal, but he didn't go. As Dale Scott points out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. For a bad one, and Thames snaps the bat in half in disgust. Tigers go ahead though. Garabito, Atkins, and Helton on the way for the Rockies. Well, the Tigers have their first lead of the game. 2-1 is our score as we go to the bottom of the third, and the Rockies have the top of the order. Eddie Garabito, then Garrett Atkins, and Todd Helton.
Obviously, the scouting report the Tigers have on Garabito is that he'll bunt the baseball in at third and DY at first. They're really in at their respective positions.
2 balls and no strikes. And now 2-1 on Garabito, who spent 9 years in the minor leagues. And this is his first taste of big league action after 9 years in the minors. High fly ball into right center field. Logan backing up, still going. This ball's carrying almost to the wall. 1 away. Hey, as soon as each Pistons game ends, turn to the team that's been there before throughout the playoffs. The Detroit Sports Report team of Mickey York, Ray Kelser, Ryan Field, and Trevor Thompson. It's DSR NBA Finals Edition tonight immediately after Game 2 here on FSN Detroit.
We'll be getting back home just about the time DSR comes on tonight.
Yeah, and the Pistons are going to win tonight, by the way. There's a strike on Atkins.
Oh, you wouldn't pull the guarantee last night, but you are today.
Yeah,
I like that. You had to think about it for a while.
I did, and I'm feeling more confident today.
Good for you.
That's lined back up the middle, and Giratano with a nice play off to his left. 2 gone. Tony played that ball off to his left.
Well, if you're a young shortstop, you've got to love the fact that your manager played 20-plus years in the big leagues at the shortstop position, and you've got a pretty good one in Carlos Guillen to learn from. And Tony G has been all ears since coming up from Double-A.
I think Tram called him a sponge. He just loves to absorb information and learn how to play at this level.
Oh, Tram putting a little sunscreen on. Don't want to get burned.
So there's no sun today. Just in case.
We don't miss anything.
No, we don't. That was sunscreen, not makeup. We just want to make that clear.
No, we wear the makeup.
That's right.
And it don't make me look no better.
Helton takes a strike, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
You know, back to the rookies, you know, really that the Tigers have on their team. I mean, you love guys like Giratano and also Logan in center field, guys that are just all ears. You don't even hear them in the clubhouse.
Well, Giratano came up from Double-A, and he was just ecstatic to be here after proving his point in spring training that he can open up some eyes. He can play this game a little bit. There is strike 3 called on Helton, who took it looking for the final out of the inning. 4th strikeout of the game for Robertson. Trivia question. And here it is. See if we can get this one. On this date in 1997, what historical baseball event occurred? Do you know?
1997.
Think about that.
Historical event.
On this date.
I don't think I've gotten one half right all year long.
Yeah, you have.
I don't think so.
No?
You'd think that the guys in the truck would converse with us on them things from time to time.
No, they don't do that. They like to test us, and trust that we can get it. But this is a pretty good one. Answer coming up bottom of the 4th inning. Giratano leads it off. That's a strike. 0-2. No argument from Giratano. Kim has run into trouble the last 2 innings. Tapped right back to the mound. Fires a bullet to first base. 1 away in the 4th inning. Monday through Thursdays are 2 for 1 at Comerica Park. Buy any Tigers Upper Reserve seat for $12. Get the second seat free while supplies last. Offer excludes August 15th through 17th. Call 248-25-TIGER if you'd like more ticket information, or log on to DetroitTigers.com. Here is Vance Wilson. He swings on the first and skies it towards shallow left. Sullivan is there. Vance 0 for 2. 2 up, 2 down. Looks like he got that one off the end of the bat. That'll bring up Nate Robertson. Kim recorded a 1-2-3 first inning. The Tigers then got to him for a run in the second, a run in the third. Nate flied out his first time up. 0-1.
How in the world does Kim come in with an earned run average of 6.38 with the kind of stuff that he features?
I don't know.
It's kind of mind-boggling. It really is.
What I'd like to know is how a guy his size can throw it up there 90 miles an hour.
From where? From there.
Swing and a miss. And it goes. And another strikeout. Number 6 for Kim. We played 3.5. Preston Wilson will start things off for the Rockies. Black trivia question again. And we'll see if you were able to get the answer on this date in 1997. What historical baseball event occurred? And the answer is interleague play began. The first interleague game after 126 years of separate league play. It was, who was it? Texas and San Francisco, right? Yes, Texas and San Francisco played the first interleague game. Here come the Rockies against Nate Robertson in a 2-1 ball game. They have Wilson, Moore, and Gonzalez in the 4th. Nate has given up only 1 hit. He has also hit a batter. And that's drilled way back into left field. Thames will go to the wall and watch this one sail. Wilson goes deep to lead off the 4th, and we're all tied up. That's number 10 for Preston Wilson. A no doubt about it home run. His 34th RBI of the season.
Preston has tremendous power. He has always had great power. Boy, he hit that a mile.
Nice bat flip. He admired that one a little bit. Here's Dustin Moore. Moore struck out in his only plate appearance. Robertson has recorded 4 in the strikeout column. Giratano will play this one, and Moore is out of there. 1 gone. .431, the estimated distance on that home run by Wilson.
How about the bat flip? How far did that go?
I don't know if he measured the bat flip. Might want to do that next time. Estimated bat flip 5 feet. 1 away. Here's Gonzalez. Down the middle it comes. 0-1. Gonzalez was a Rule 5 pick from the Indians. Spent all of last year with the Colorado Rockies. Had himself a fine season. He's a guy that can play really all infield positions and the outfield. Hit 12 home runs last year. And he has been very valuable with all the injuries that they've had in Colorado this season. struck out against Robertson back in the second. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Luis Gonzalez. Chop toward the left side off the glove of Inge. No play for Giarratano. Brandon tried to cut it off and got his glove on it, but Gonzalez is aboard.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they rule that, because even if Brandon does get to the ball, I don't know if he can make a play here with all his momentum carrying him in that direction. Can he stop and then still get enough on his throw? My guess is maybe not, but we'll see.
Well, I've got that down as a base hit. We'll see what the official score thinks. Here's Sullivan. They have ruled it a hit. So the second hit of the inning for the Rockies. Sullivan is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He was an All-American at Wake Forest. Runner going. Here comes the throw down to second. In plenty of time, to say the least, to get Gonzalez. Good throw by Vance Wilson.
Don't know if it was a botched hit and run or not, but he was out by a mile at second base.
Well, I don't think he looked in, did he? That's into the air toward left. Here comes Thames to the line, and foul ground still coming, and he runs out of real estate. One ball, 2 strikes on Sullivan.
And the wind appears to be playing some tricks with the baseball when it gets up in the air, because in the last half inning there was a ball in the right center field gap that just continued to go. And then everything in left field seems to be going toward the foul line.
Rondell White was giving a little grief to Marcus Thames. He was waving that towel after that play. Look at it.
These guys have way too much fun.
I don't know if Marcus was paying any attention. There's the throw to first to complete the strikeout. There it is. Thames can't even look at him. Rain. Well, so far the rain has held off here at Coors Field. That's the good news. And there's the vet and the young guy still having a few laughs in the middle of the inning. Rondell White giving Marcus Thames a little bit of grief on that sliding play. They had a few more yucks coming in.
Infante laughing harder than anybody at what Rondell was doing to Marcus.
0-1 the count. And Nook Logan takes outside. It'll be Logan, then Polanco, and then Inge. Tigers have 4 hits. And one of those belongs to Logan, an infield single. Little flare, back a short, long run for Gonzalez, and he'll track it down. Well, tomorrow it's an encore showing of the latest edition of Tigers Weekly. It's an episode devoted to last week's amateur draft, and our cameras were inside the Tigers war room as they made their first round selection. You won't want to miss that. Tigers Weekly tomorrow at 7 here on FSN Detroit. Here's Placido Polanco. Well, from what we have seen so far, Rod, out of Mr. Polanco, he's going to give the Tigers a solid defender and a guy that can swing the bat.
And he's a quality individual. The Tigers seem to have a lot of those types of guys on their roster these days.
Well, the Phillies mentioned when they made the trade that you've got to give up quality to get a guy like Urbina, and the Tigers got themselves a good one in Polanco. He slices one the other way. That's another base hit. Placido has his second hit of the game.
The Tigers fans are going to like him. And it ain't no fluke when you spend 8 years in the big leagues and you have a .296 career batting average. And keep in mind, earlier when he was playing in the big leagues, he wasn't playing every day.
No, he wasn't. And he wasn't playing every day recently. with the Phillies, but this is a guy that is excited to come to Detroit and get an opportunity to play every day.
I think they have that classic #2 hitter now in Polanco.
Here's Brandon Inge. Fastball missing up. 1 ball, no strikes on Brandon. 0 for 2. Struck out with a couple of men in scoring position back in the 3rd, and has not seemed very comfortable or confident against Young Kim. Kim is a little dude. We told you it's kind of surprising he can bring it at the velocity he does. He stands only 5'9". They list him at 180 pounds.
Got strong legs. And most of the Korean kids really do have strong legs. And Chan-Ho Park has some very strong legs as well.
The 2-0. Pronounce that city in South Korea for me, Rod.
No.
You're not even going to try?
No.
I'll go with Gwangju.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
I got your back.
2-1 on Inge.
Hit and run, maybe?
Let's see.
Nope. You know, that's a count that Allen would put a hit and run on, but he senses that Brandon's been so uncomfortable against Kim today. Why do it?
Yeah, he has not had good at bats here this afternoon.
I mean, because the last thing you want to do if you put the hit and run on is for a guy to swing and miss.
There goes the runner. Here's the throw down to second. The tag is dropped. Polanco is in there.
That's a situation right there where if you're Brandon, you've got to protect Polanco, because if the ball's caught at second base, he's out. Brandon takes it because it's ball 4, but you may want to just swing at it just in case. Well, it was a strike, actually. But you may want to swing at that just to protect your runner.
Well, the scoreboard says ball 4, strike 1. First stolen base as a Tiger. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Right off the mask of the catcher, Ardoin. Tigers trying to break this tie again. 2-2. They have a man in scoring position for Brandon Inge. And the full count pitch. Fly ball. Shallow center. Wilson on the charge, and the second baseman Garavito goes back to make the play. Right in front of the sliding center fielder. 2 away. Here's a game reset brought to you by GMC. Good start for Kim. He struck out 3 early against the Tigers. But in the 3rd, the Tigers get a sacrifice fly from Craig Monroe, scoring a run. And in the 4th inning, the home run by Preston Wilson tied the ball game at 2 runs apiece. And we are tied at 2.
Well, Dimitri, who's coming to the plate right now, was walked intentionally his last time up. The runners on 2nd and 3rd. They had an open base. They now have another open base, but they're going to go after him this time. At least it appears that they're going to go after him.
Strike called on Young, who has been on base twice. You mentioned the intentional walk. He was also hit by a pitch in the 2nd and came around later on the single by Tony Giratano. Oh, 2.
You know, George Frazier, who does some work on television for the Rockies, told us before Kim got in the starting rotation, he was pitching so poorly out of the bullpen, they were going to send him down to the minor leagues.
Here's the 0-2 pitch.
And then an injury to Sean Chacon, who was in their starting rotation, a hamstring injury, landed Chacon on the disabled list, and bought Kim a little time in the starting rotation, and the way he's pitching today, he wouldn't lose in AAA.
Well, he has 6 strikeouts. And really, the Tigers have been able to get a couple of runs against him, but they haven't had that big inning. That's popped up foul. This one will find the seats as Atkins watches it sail back out of play. 1-2.
I mean, you come in with a record of 20-40, 20 games out, 20 games under 500, and this guy can't pitch for you.
Well, you know, you talked about the fact that as a reliever he had a lot of success because you only saw him maybe for an inning, and that was it. He had 36 saves for the Diamondbacks in 2002, but his numbers as a starter have been much different. A little bit outside.
That's when Kim starts to get in trouble, and that's when managers get upset with him, when he starts to put a little mustard on the hot dog out there. Like, see that last delivery?
Little whip at the end there.
Yeah, kicking the leg across and whatnot. Make him pay, DY.
Ooh, inside.
Does he have a bullseye or something?
He must have.
Like, what did I do?
Full count on Dmitri Young. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him. So the Tigers threaten. They get a runner to second base. Do not score. Middle of the 5th. 2 runs apiece. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning at Coors Field in Denver. Mario Impemba alongside Rod Allen. We've had a good one here today as the Tigers try and come home with a 500 road trip. They can do it with a win here this afternoon. Danny Ardoin leads it off. And then Kim and then Garabito. Ardoin reaching, hit by a pitch against Robertson back in the 2nd. This is the 5th different organization that Danny Ardoin has played for. He broke in the Oakland Athletics system. Originally drafted by the A's. He's played in the big leagues with Minnesota and Texas. It's amazing, Rod, how really there aren't too many catchers that come up through the ranks anymore that are considered high quality prospects. There had been some in the past, but it's a position now that I think we're finding, especially in professional baseball, that not too many kids coming up want to play.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. There's not many kids that play Little League or in high school or even college for that matter that like that position. But if you're good at that position, you can definitely take a shortcut to the big leagues.
3-1 pitch. Line to left. That's a base hit. It was a leadoff single for Danny Ardoin. And the Rockies have another hit. Hey, our next Tigers telecast is Tuesday when the Tigers return home to take on the first place San Diego Padres. Boy, if they've been a surprise. Coverage begins at 6:30 with the Capital Mortgage Funding pregame show. Tigers and Pods Tuesday night. FSN Detroit, your exclusive TV home for Tigers baseball. 4th hit of the game for the Padres. Leadoff man on here in the 5th inning. And Kim ran all the way down to the third base coach to see what they want him to do.
Well, they want him to bunt, but apparently Kim was having a difficult time of picking up the signs. And if you're Dmitri at first base with Ardoin over there, the catcher who doesn't run well.
Bunted in front of the plate. Oh, Wilson thought about it, but he's going to go to first base. He came up looking like he wanted to throw to second. Kim sacrifices.
To finish that thought on DY, you could cheat a lot with a guy that doesn't run and get yourself in a good position to get that force out. And Wilson behind the plate, as you pointed out, showing some good leadership by not making a mistake trying to get that out at second base.
Go ahead run moves to second. Here's the top of the order, Eddie Garabito. Garabito double and a run scored. He's 1 for 2. He was hitting over 300 at AAA when he was called up in late May. Told you last night he is originally from the Dominican Republic, but when he was playing in the Sandlots in the Dominican, he wasn't really getting noticed and felt that he had to move to get noticed by baseball scouts. So what he did was become a stowaway on a freighter. He just hitched a ride to Puerto Rico as a stowaway. And in Puerto Rico, he was discovered by the Baltimore Orioles and went on to spend 9 years in the minor leagues before finally he got his big league opportunity. Lifted in the air to right field, charging and making the catch is Monroe. Yes, he got him. Nice play by Craig Monroe. That looked like it might drop in for a base hit.
We've already seen a couple of nifty plays by the right fielders in this game. One by Moore back in the first, and that one by Monroe taking that ball right off the carpet.
Craig checking out his fingers, making sure everything is all right. Here is Atkins. Hitless in this ball game. The UCLA Bruins had never had a three-time All-American until Garrett Atkins came along. He had a tremendous rookie season. His freshman year, he had a 33-game hitting streak and went on to become an All-American for 3 years at UCLA. Slicing that one over the glove of Polanco. Ardoin rounding third. He will score. It's a 2-out RBI hit by Garrett Atkins, and the Rockies have taken the lead.
Well, so far, the Rockies have manufactured a couple of runs in this game by the sacrifice bunt, one of them in this inning, and then a couple of innings back, they had the runner on second with nobody out. Take a look at our Bell Tire pitch by pitch and how he attacked very dangerous hitter Helton. A couple of breaking balls and showing a few fastballs. Then he finished him off with a couple of breaking balls.
And a strike called on Helton.
This is the first year of an 8-year, $140 million contract for Helton.
Unbelievable. It's a lot of cash.
140.
Well, based on the numbers he has put up and based on the marketplace these days, that's really not a whole lot of money.
He is signed through the year 2011 with an option for 2012.
You don't often see contracts running that long. I mean, there is an inherent risk by doing that, obviously.
I think he got the tail end of that run that we saw Manny Ramirez get one,
yeah.
And Jeter had one, and then, of course, Helton got one. But guys aren't touching those numbers any longer. I mean, the last couple of years, I mean, the premier free agents that have been out there, Vladimir Guerrero and Miguel Tejada, both of those guys were in the $60 to $70 million range. He ain't $60 million better than them guys.
No, that's a good point. I mean, the last 10-year contracts, what, A-Rod and Jeter, right?
I think Giambi got a nice one too. I mean, just a couple years back too, but
not 10 years though.
What was his?
I don't think it was 10 years. We'll look it up, but I think it was short of 10 years. But it's a lot of money any way you slice it. But the days of the $250 million to Mr. A-Rod,
yeah,
those seem to be gone. At least for the time being. Fouled back out of play. Helton with an RBI. He is 0 for 2 in this game. Played his college ball at Tennessee. In fact, quarterbacked a pretty good football team there in Tennessee. And then had to make way for a guy that has gone on to do some pretty good things, Peyton Manning. He's quite an athlete.
And Todd Helton grew up watching Chicago Cubs baseball games, and the reason why he wears number 17, one of his favorite players, was Mark Grace.
Right back up the middle. Giratano is going to make the play. Sidearm throw is in time. That's all for the Rockies. We played 5. The tie has been broken. Craig Monroe to lead it off.
Consent of the Tigers.
3-2 ball game. Rockies have taken the lead as we go to the top of the 6th inning, and Craig Monroe will start things off for the Tigers. It'll be Monroe and then Thames and Giarratano. Craig 1 for 1, has an RBI with a sacrifice fly. Pops this one up, and it should get back into the seats. It does. No balls and 2 strikes. The Giambi deal was a 7-year deal with the Yankees at a whole lot of money.
120.
What do you do with that kind of money?
I don't know. I'd like to find out.
If someone's willing to pay you, I'll find out.
You know, take out, you know, we can figure out something.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Monroe. Each team with 5 hits today. Rockies lead by a run. Well, he's been getting that pitch most of the day. That pitch right below the knees. Not that time, though.
And when you start looking for the breaking ball that Kim features, he can throw that fastball just right by you. You can't react to it.
That's line, but it's going to hook. Hit that ball hard.
Kim throws you that breaking ball, and from the angle that he starts from, the arm slot that he throws from underneath, the breaking ball actually rises in the strike zone. He throws a rise ball.
That's pleasant.
Only guy in the big leagues with a rise ball.
And that one just missed outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
This has been a good at-bat by Craig so far.
Well, what you said earlier really kind of hits home. It's amazing that Kim has the numbers he has with the stuff he has. 6.38 ERA. That's inside, ball 4. Leadoff man is on for the Tigers. Hey, Chris Myers returns to FSN with the most intriguing and controversial names in sports. Talk with him in a series of half-hour specials. CMI, the Chris Myers interview. It premieres with former slugger turned author Jose Canseco. See it tonight at 6, only on FSN. Activity in the Tigers' pen. Sperling is warming up. Boy, he's been rock solid lately, especially on this trip. Here's Marcus Thames. 0-1 on Marcus. A couple of strikeouts against Kim. Tigers have that tying run on with that leadoff walk. Second walk of the game given up by Kim. One was intentional. You see it. It's coming in at 87, 88. And all of a sudden there it goes. Hey, look who's warming up for the Rockies. Recognize him? Matt Anderson, the former Tiger. The 0-2. That is the 3rd time he has struck out Marcus Thames today.
Good morning, and good afternoon, and good night.
Eight strikeouts. He struck out 7 in his last start against the White Sox. But the 8 establishes a career high. Here's Giarratano. Hit to the second baseman. There's one, and not in time. Fielder's choice. They will force Monroe at second base. Gonzalez's relay was on the money, but Giarratano running hard down the line, beats it out. And a 2-out chance for Vance Wilson. We have seen what Vance can mean to this ball club, especially on days when he doesn't play. And there are a lot of times when we will peek into the dugout and he's talking to the starting pitcher that day, and he's not even playing. And there are things he will notice on the bench, and he's been around long enough, even though this is his first year with the Tigers and in the American League. He's been around long enough to know that he can approach his pitchers. And if he notices something, will let them know. We saw him do it with Nate Robertson in Los Angeles and Bonderman yesterday. Swing and a miss.
And depending on what Wilson does here will determine whether Nate Robertson stays in this game or not. If he reaches, more than likely Nate will be pinch hit for.
Oh, 0-2.
And if he doesn't reach, Nate will pitch one more inning and then he'll be pinch hit for.
Robertson for the time being is in the on deck circle. Three to 2 Rockies lead. We're in the 6th inning. The 0-2 pitch, runner going. Here comes the throw, the tag. He's safe at second base. Giarratano swipes the bag. And that is his first as a big leaguer.
I'll tell you what, that kid behind the plate, Ardoin, has got a rifle for an arm. He's throwing a couple of bullets down there. That's a breaking ball, hard to handle. He throws a clothesline down there. So you like to see your middle infielders, though, straddle the bag. Instead of standing in front of the bag, if Garabito, the second baseman, is straddling the bag, that ball gets to him a lot quicker and puts him in a better position to make the tag. And when you're standing in front of the base, you have to grab it in front and then reach back. Well, that's not what you'd like to see.
Well, it does put the tying run in scoring position. Giarratano at second base, 1-2 on Vance Wilson. In the air to center field. On his horse is Preston Wilson, still going back. And that'll take care of the side for the Tigers in the 6th. They'll get a man to second. Leave him there. Wilson will lead it off. Back in beautiful Denver, Colorado, as we come back inside Coors Field in a 3-2 ball game. The Rockies on top, and they will hit in the bottom of the 6th inning. Starting to get a little bit cloudy and a little bit dark at the ballpark. The rain has held off so far. The tarp was on the field when the Tigers arrived at the ballpark today. It was raining a little bit earlier. Preston Wilson starts it off. It'll be Wilson, then Moore, then Gonzalez, and there's the ominous look out beyond the left field wall. There's another one drilled high in the air, deep into left field. Did he get him again? Boy, he sure did. Way gone, and back-to-back home runs for Preston Wilson. One in the 4th and now one in the 6th. He's had himself a day. A big day.
For whatever reason, Nate trying to sneak some fastballs by Preston, and that one just stays right over the heart of the plate, and there goes your bat flip there. He got a little bit more distance this time with the flip, though, Mario.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Hot doggish? 1-0 on Dustin Moore.
He flipped it, that's for sure.
When you hit him that far, though, it's hard not to brag a little bit. That's it to third base on one hop. Inge has it. One away. That'll bring up Luis Gonzalez. Four to 2 now. The Rockies have added another. In fact, they've scored 1 run in each of the last 3 innings. That's hit to right field, sinking, and Monroe will play it on one hop. Second hit of the game for Gonzalez, and now for the Rockies, 7 overall hits. See Bob Cluck on the telephone right behind Alan Trammell in contact with the bullpen. Preston Wilson picks up his second multi-home run game this season. He also did it on June 3rd against the Reds. That's hit back up the middle and through. A base hit. Got a breaking ball that hung. And Sullivan has a hit. And Robertson, who gave up the leadoff home run, now has more trouble brewing here. As both Tram and Cluck approach decision time.
Well, you have to think about a lot of different things as a manager. You have to think about the double switch. Apparently, there's not going to be a double switch here because whoever he brings in, they'll just pinch hit for them in the top half of the 7th inning. But you have to think about a lot of things as a manager in the National League. Well, when you're playing in National League parks.
Well, there's Sperling warming up. And Tram makes his way out to the mound. Hasn't made any signal yet.
They're trying to buy a little bit more time for Sperling.
And now he makes the call. That's going to be it for Nate. So a pitching change here in Colorado. Chris Sperling makes his way in. It's a wall side windows pitching change. Tigers go to the bullpen, and we'll be back out to the ballpark for the Chevy Cobalt drive one home giveaway. Nate Robertson done. And he will watch the rest of this one. Here are his numbers. 84 pitches today.
Not bad numbers. Not really by any stretch of the imagination. Just 4 runs in this ballpark. That is not bad. And the one thing that he knew he had to correct in this ballpark was not walk anybody. And he only walked 1.
Here is Ardoin, who takes a strike.
Ginter was warming up in the bullpen, but with runners on first and second, you got the sinker baller Chris Sperling in to try to get Allen a ground ball to get them back in the dugout. Top of the 7th. Got nice numbers too.
He pitched well in that series against the Dodgers. An inning and a third, actually 2 innings and a third of scoreless relief as he appeared in all of those games. The 1-1. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Danny Ardoin. It appears that Kim is done. George Piedra has moved to the on-deck circle. He pinch hit in the ballgame last night as well.
Well, you never know what Clint Hurdle is going to do. And Piedra could be standing in that batter's box just by design.
Jay Wojtaszek.
Those are some of the games that managers do play with one another in this league. National League style of ball.
Little looper the other way. That's going to drop in, a base hit. Gonzalez rounding third. They'll send him home. Monroe's throw cut off. Throw down to second. And they will tag him out. Ardoin is tagged out by Giratano, but a run will come in to score. It's an RBI. Second hit for Ardoin. 5-2 ball game.
Little sinker ball inside. He just fights it off the opposite way. Craig Monroe comes up and fires a missile toward home plate, and Gonzalez going to score. Dimitri cuts the ball off.
So the pinch hitter now for Kim. He is done for the day. George Piedra with a runner at third and 2 outs. That run is charged to the starter Robertson.
And if you're the Tigers, you're not all that upset at the fact that Byung-Hyun Kim has departed this game.
No, you're not. Maybe some better luck against the bullpen. That is sliced, and that's a fair ball. This one is going to go to the corner as Thames runs it down at the wall. Another run is in, and Piedra has himself an RBI double in a pinch hitting role. 6-2 Colorado.
A couple of pretty good approaches by Ardoin and Piedra. Knowing they're going to get a sinker ball or a slider and not trying to do a whole lot with it, simply just driving the ball the other way. It's a pretty nice piece of hitting. He pinch hit in last night's game and hit a bullet to Dimitri.
Yeah, they turned that one into a double play. This time, though, he doubles down the line. 6-2 ball game, the top of the order. Eddie Garabito. The book is now closed officially on Robertson. He will be charged with all 6 runs. 1 strike on Garabito, who doubled and scored in the first inning, 1 for 3.
That's unfortunate because he pitched better than giving up 6 earned runs, really.
Yeah, you mentioned he kept the walks down and gave his team a chance, but the Tigers offense got him only a couple of runs today.
Well, sometimes you're at the mercy of that reliever when you leave runners out there. Sometimes they're stranded and sometimes they score.
3 balls and 1 strike. This is the 7th man to bat in the inning for the Rockies, and they have scored 5 of their 6 in the last 3 innings. Strike called on the inside corner. Franklin Herman warming up. 3-2 on Garabito. Sinking toward left, and Thames plays it out of high. This will get another run in. Piedra scores. And the Rockies now turning this into a big inning, a 4-run inning, a 7-2 lead. Second hit and an RBI for Garabito. And the rain is starting to fall now here in Colorado. They were waiting for it, and it's coming down at a pretty good pace. And they are scurrying for cover. There goes the runner. Here comes the throw. Tag is not in time. Garabito swipes it back.
A nice job by Polanco at second. We were talking about Garabito earlier, not allowing the ball to get all the way to him. You see how he straddles the bag there? He's right there. He lets the ball come to him, but Garabito's speed beats the throw.
Atkins hits one the other way, but Dimitri Young scoops it up. He'll hit the pitcher covering for the out to retire the side. 8 men to the plate. They score 4 times, and as we head to the 7th, it's now 7-2. We listen, we understand, we make it work. Back in Denver as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Preston Wilson has had himself a big day. Here's our game reset presented by Chevy. It is a big day for Wilson in terms of the long ball. A solo home run in the 4th inning, tied it at 2. And then another one off Nate Robertson in the 6th inning, made it 4-2. That led the inning off.
Looked like the exact same pitch on both occasions from Robertson, and the exact swing from Preston.
New pitcher is on for the Rockies. And a couple of changes as well to their infield. Jay Wojtaszek is the new pitcher. We'll check out the infield changes. Desi Relaford is the new shortstop. And Luis Gonzalez will move to second base. Chris Shelton will pinch hit for the pitcher spot. Ball inside. 2-0 is the count on Shelton. Here are the numbers on the new guy, Jay Wojtaszek.
He's done a pretty nice job. 20th game that he's been in. An earned run average of 3. And the opponents aren't doing a whole lot against him. Just 7 walks in 21 innings. That's pretty good.
A little bit low. 3 balls, no strikes. Shelton 1 for 4 this year as a pinch hitter.
He has a good eye. He really has a good eye at the plate.
There's ball 4. Leadoff man is on. Shelton with a pinch hit walk. Now the top of the order, Nook Logan.
You can come back and score 5 runs in this ballpark.
Easy. 4-run 6th inning really broke this game open a little bit. Nook has an infield single and a run scored. The Tigers managed only 5 hits against the starter Kim, but he's gone now.
Wojtaszek has thrown 5 straight balls. You need to take until he throws you a strike.
And there it is. Logan came in at .414 on the road this year. And another hit here today. It'll pop up back a short. Relaford will make the play. 1 gone. And that'll bring up Placido Polanco. Polanco with 2 more hits in the ballgame today, and now a 12-game hitting streak, and that includes obviously his time with the Philadelphia Phillies. You're talking about Polanco and what he can bring this team, both offensively and with the glove. Placido played 4 different positions this year with the Phils and did not commit an error all year long. A couple of singles and a stolen base today for Polanco.
Told me his nickname today was Paulie.
Is that it officially?
Yep, that's what he said. I said, "You have a nickname?" He says, "Yep. They call me Paulie."
All right, we'll go with that if it's okay with him. Oh, look out, he's hit by the pitch. So Polanco is drilled, and that'll put 2 aboard. That thing came up right at his back and near the head.
He missed the target by a mile.
Wow.
You got to be kidding me.
How do you miss by that much? A hit batter, the second for the Tigers today. Young was hit back in the 2nd inning. And this is how rallies start. You get a walk, you get a hit batter, and here's the number 3 hitter, Brandon Inge. And he is certainly happy to see Kim out of this ball game. He was 0 for 3 against him with a strikeout.
I wonder if there's any history whatsoever with Mr. Wojtaszek and Polanco.
I was thinking the same thing myself, but there wasn't much of a reaction from Placido. Ground ball hit toward 3rd. Fielding there is Atkins. He'll fire to 2nd 1, and that's all they're going to get. Drop the baseball, but he held on long enough.
Nice job by Polanco. When somebody hits you, you knew he was mad. And he was going to knock whoever was trying to cover the bag out in the left field. Good baseball.
So 2 gone. And that'll bring up Dimitri Young.
Boy, in this ballpark, if DY can get a hold of one, they can get 3 back in a hurry.
That's grounded foul, first base side. Young hit by a pitch, intentionally walked. He is 0 for 1. He has a run scored. 11 home runs this year for Dimitri. Had a couple of hits in the ball game last night. And now Wojtaszek will step off. He pitched in the Friday ball game here against the Tigers and recorded a hold in that ball game. Wojtaszek, a non-roster invitee with the Orioles this spring, signed a minor league contract with the Rockies in early April. DY goes chasing. And down he goes to retire the side. So the Tigers put a threat together. They fail to score, and we'll go to the stretch here in Colorado. Hilton, Wilson, and more. So if you want Rod's job or my job, hey, it's a great way to audition. By the way, don't forget to play on the same field as the 2005 All-Stars in the Tigers Field of Dreams weekend. That's coming up on July 29th through the 31st at Comerica Park. The package includes an authentic Tigers jersey, clubhouse locker, banquet, and more. Details can be had by phoning 313-471-2550. Doug Creek is on now for the Tigers.
And ninth time that Doug has been in the game for the Tigers. Numbers not pretty, but it's tough a lot of times when you're a reliever and you don't get a chance to pitch that often. Sometimes if you have one bad outing, the numbers can elevate, and it takes a while to get them down.
Well, Todd Creek has not pitched since the 4th against the Orioles. That was that 14-7 game. And so he will take over here in the bottom of the 7th. Todd Helton leads it off. 7-2, Rockies in the lead. Looks like the rain has stopped, at least for the time being. Helton has an RBI, but he's 0 for 3. Breaking ball is in there from Creek. 0-1. Helton won the batting title in the National League back in the 2000 campaign. Hit .372 that year. And there aren't too many guys that will flirt with .400, and Helton did that in the 2000 campaign. It's going to be awfully tough to get somebody to reach that plateau again. That thing is popped up a mile high. The shortstop Giratano back to the grass, still waiting, and it falls in his glove for out number 1.
When you were broadcasting in Anaheim, did they host an All-Star game while you were there?
They did not.
No.
Quite an event, though, from what we hear.
Oh, absolutely. I've never really, been a part of one, but it's a special time.
Looking forward to it. Doug Creek gets his job done. He retires the only batter that they wanted him to face. Here comes Fernando Rodney trotting in out of the bullpen. We'll head his numbers when we come back. With the Capital Mortgage Funding pregame show, it's the Tigers and Pods. Tuesday night on FSN Detroit, your exclusive TV home for Tigers baseball. 7-2 ball game. Rockies in the lead over the Tigers. We play in the bottom of the 7th inning in the final game in this series. And Fernando Rodney just recalled from Toledo. And it's been a while since he's played in the big leagues.
Yeah, he missed the entire 2004 season with the Tommy John surgery. But it's good to see him back. Fastball in the mid-90s, and his changeup, one of the best around.
And Preston Wilson will stand in with a couple of home runs today. 0-1 on Wilson. Homered in the 4th, homered in the 6th, both solo shots. Swing and a miss. Out in front, 0-2. Well, before Rodney went down with the elbow injury, he had surgery. Not this April, but April of 2004. He was showing some big-time promise. Another one of those power arms out of the Tigers bullpen. It's been a long road back for Rodney. Had some shoulder problems that they had to rehab, and finally recalled. 1-2 on Wilson. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. 2 gone.
There's that changeup. It's a baffling pitch, and one of the best in the game. And you can go 95 with your fastball and then come back with an 80-mile-per-hour changeup right down the middle. Big league.
He's wearing his lid like CC Sabathia.
Yeah, he's got a little CC in him. A little tilt to the side. It won't be long. Your little guy's going to have their hats tilted to the side.
Better not. He better not. I'll straighten it out for him. Dustin Moore, are you speaking from experience here?
You got that right. Hats will be tilted and a little sag in the pants and everything. I'm telling you, them youngsters nowadays, man.
A little sag in the pants. Moore is 0 for 3. That's lifted in the air, foul ground, first base side, but it'll get back into the seats. No balls, 2 strikes on Moore. Well, when we talk about the trade of Urbina, obviously I think Rodney coming back had to make the Tigers feel a little bit more comfortable if he can get back to the way he was pitching before the injury. And the way Herman has pitched and Sperling. The Tigers still have plenty of weapons in that bullpen. Did he go around? He sure did. Strike 3 call. And that'll retire the side. So Rodney comes in and strikes out 2 to finish the inning. We've played 7 in Colorado, and Craig Monroe will start things off when we get to the 8th. Here is today's Comerica game summary with the Rockies leading the Tigers 7-2. Nate Robertson went 5 1/3 in this one. Tigers really couldn't solve Byung-Hyun Kim all that much. He struck out a career high 8. Monroe has 38 RBIs now. Big day for Wilson. And 4 Rockies have 2 hits apiece. And Craig Monroe leads it off against Jay Wotasic. Monroe, Thames, and Giratano due up here in the 8th inning. Tigers need some base runners here. They're down 5. 2-0.
How about Fernando Rodney?
Well, that was impressive. He hadn't pitched in a big league game since the end of 2003. He comes in and strikes out a pair of hitters.
Well, you brought it up. The Tigers have a lot of depth now in their bullpen with the addition of Rodney.
What do they always say? Trade from depth. And the Tigers did just that in getting Polanco. There's a part of that depth. Franklin Herman.
Yeah, he appears to have turned the corner too. Big Frankie.
Monroe chased a bad one in the dirt, struck him out. And Wotasic has a couple of strikeouts, 1 away in the 8th inning. Here is Marcus Thames, who is really glad that Kim is out of the game. He struck out 3 times against him.
Yeah, he's got the hat trick going already. He's trying to stay away from that sombrero, which would be 4 strikeouts.
And he starts him off with a breaking ball strike, 0-1. Marcus now hitless in his last 10 at bats. A little bit high, 1 ball, 1 strike. The one constant today has been the wind. It is still blowing. That's lifted foul, back out of play. It has kept the temperatures down. There's the flags out in left center field.
It doesn't appear to be summertime in Colorado. That is for sure.
The attendance here today was a little over 22,000 on a rainy day. Swing and a miss. And Thames strikes out for the 4th time today. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Wotasic. Looked like Marcus a little bit anxious on that last pitch and chased it out of the strike zone. Here's Giratano. 1 for 3 today for Giratano. Singled in a run way back in the 2nd. Giratano this year down at Erie at one point had a 16-game hitting streak. Lofts this one toward left center field. Long run for Sullivan, still going, and he'll track it down in the gap. And the Tigers will go 1-2-3. We're on our way to the bottom of the 8th in Colorado in a 7-2 game. Tigers baseball on FSN Detroit is brought to you by Pepsi. It's the Cola. Comerica, we listen, we understand, we make it work. And by Chevy. See your Detroit area Chevy dealers. Chevy drives the Motor City. This is what Ron Allen looked like earlier today, taking some kayaking lessons.
No, not a chance.
Spinning in the water. Here is Franklin Herman. He will check into the ball game now, the bottom of the 8th. Tigers down 7-2 as we look at the numbers on Big Franklin.
Just 10 walks for Big Franklin in 22 2/3 innings. If he can continue to keep his base on balls down, his stuff is electric enough that they're not going to beat up on him too bad.
Gonzalez, Sullivan, and Ardoin in the 8th. In the air to center field, Logan coming in, and he'll run it down. One gone.
You know, that's the play that Juan Samuel and also Gene Roof, who is a minor league base running and outfield instructor, were working on with Logan before this road trip. Him coming in on those types of balls. You know, a lot of what he does, he makes up for with his speed, but once he really learns that position, nothing will drop in center field.
Here's Sullivan with one away. Herman takes over for Rodney. The Tigers have also used Creek and Sperling out of the bullpen. A strike right at the belt. 1-1 on Sullivan. A single and a run scored in that big 4-run 6th inning, and that really gave the Rockies some breathing room. It was a 1-run game until that point. Swing and a miss. 1-2. There was some thought when Herman was picked up in that deal that involved Weaver that he would be the future closer for the Tigers. And that still may come to fruition. Swing and a miss. Blew him away. 2 gone. But for Franklin, his numbers in the minor leagues have been a whole lot better up until this year than they were in the big leagues.
Overpowering fastball there to Sullivan.
Here's Danny Ardoin. He's been on base 3 times today. 2 singles. He's had an RBI. He's also been hit by a pitch. Ardoin was a 30-year-old non-roster invitee with the Rockies this year. And he has showed off a pretty good throwing arm in this game. 2-0. That's way high. 3 balls and no strikes. Looking ahead to the Tigers' 9th inning. They'll have 8, 9, and 1 due up as the Rockies try and take 2 out of 3 in this series. That's fouled back out of play. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Ardoin.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate too if the Tigers can't come back and win this game. The Rockies aren't playing good baseball. 20 games under 500. They're on pace to lose 100 games this year for the very first time in their young history.
Strike 3 called. Got him looking at a 1-2-3 inning for Franklin Herman. Nicely done by the Tigers. Last call for the Tigers as we go to the top of the 9th inning. 7-2. The Rockies in the lead in this one, and the Tigers have managed only 5 hits in this ball game, and they're down to their final 3 outs, and it'll take a comeback today. And Brian Fuentes is the new pitcher on for the Rockies.
Well, they started the game with some funkiness from right-handed Byung-Hyun Kim, and they're going to try to finish it with some funkiness from Fuentes. And he's got that sidearm delivery, a little hesitation in his windup, and as you can see, 6 holds, 14 walks in 29 innings and 28 strikeouts, and the opponent's hitting just 184 against Brian.
And a strike called on Vance Wilson, who leads it off. Pitcher spot due next, and Omar Infante has picked up a bat. Little pop up, shallow right field. Dustin Moore is under it. And one gone. Here's our Buick player of the game, Preston Wilson. What a day he has had today with a couple of home runs, both solo shots. And a big part of their offense. 11 hits today for the Rockies. Preston Wilson had himself a pretty good game. Here's Omar Infante. He is pinch hitting for the pitcher. Boy, it seems like Fuentes just is never going to get the ball to the plate. That big hesitation. Began his big league career with Seattle in 2001, has been with the Rockies since in 2002 and beyond.
Very few pitchers come to Colorado have success, and when they find one that puts up pretty decent numbers, they hold on to him, and apparently Fuentes is one of those type guys.
29 years old, out of Merced, California. Out in front of that off-speed pitch. 1-2 now on Omar Infante. Lost his everyday job with the acquisition of Placido Polanco.
Omar acting like he hurt himself on that last swing.
Here's the 1-2. 2 gone. I wonder if he did hurt himself, because that did not seem like a very aggressive swing there. 2 up, 2 down, and the Tigers are down to their final out. Nook Logan. Logan has another hit today. 8 hits on this trip. He's 1 for 4. One ball and no strikes on Nook. 5 Tigers hits. Logan has a single. Polanco had a pair of singles. Monroe a base hit, and Giarratano had the other. There's a strike. 1-1. Tigers would fall to 28-32. Breaking ball slides in. 1-2 the count, and the crowd coming to its feet. The lone Red Wings fan in Avalanche country. The 1-2 pitch. Logan trying to keep it alive for Placido Polanco.
Well, not going to get any easier for the Tigers. On Tuesday, San Diego Padres come a-calling, and they're in first place.
They have done some terrific things this year. 10 games over the 500 mark of the Padres, and first in the West.
Yeah.
Interleague play will continue at Comerica Park. Here are the West standings. You see the Rockies came in 20 under and 15 behind San Diego.
Yeah.
Now again, the 1-2.
Tigers have JJ going on Tuesday, and No pitcher in the American League has a better home run average than JJ, 162. So that could bode well for the Tigers.
Logan keeping it going, staying alive. What's the name of their mascot here? We saw him on the elevator leaving the ballpark last night. Dinger is the name of the mascot.
They got a couple of them here.
It is outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dinger was in the elevator and there wasn't much room for anyone else. Full count. Lifted foul back out of play, and Logan's not going down without a fight. There's Dinger. Dinger's got a big old head.
Dinger got some VIP seats too.
Yes, he does. Or she, we're not quite sure. Three and 2. That's drilled in the air, deep into left field. This one is way back, and it is gone. Nook Logan has his first home run, and it comes with 2 outs in the 9th. First big league homer for Nook Logan.
He had a great at-bat against Fuentes, and Fuentes throws him a fastball right down the middle. And usually when Nook makes good contact, they're caught at the wall. This one travels into the seats.
Gotta love the thin air.
But I know he would trade that home run in, boy, for a W for the Tigers today.
Polanco takes a strike, so it's 7-3. Placido has been on base his last 3 at-bats. He has a couple of singles, hit by a pitch as well. First big league homer for Nook Logan.
And Tony Giarratano hit his first major league home run on this trip in Los Angeles.
Jason Johnson.
Yes.
And now Nook Logan joins the group. We were kidding Nook about how his first big league home run might have to be an inside the Parker. Not so. 1 and 2 on Polanco. Right back to the mound. And the Rockies take 2 out of 3 in the series as they win the finale here today by the final score of 7-3. And a big day for Preston Wilson with a couple of home runs. The Tigers managed 6 hits but lose it 7-3 and will be